Military experts note that after the capture of the village of Krokhmalno in the Kupiansk direction of the front, the Russian army not only secured its success but also began to develop it rapidly. Military correspondents from both sides also report on the rapid advance of Russian troops in the Kupiansk direction. According to them, after the capture of the village of Krokhmalno, the Russian army made significant progress towards the village of BORZZIKMAN. It is reported that the Russians have begun attacking nearby heights, the capture of which will force the Ukrainian army to leave this village. At the same time, it is worth noting that Western analytical think tanks have begun diligently quoting the Ukrainian military department, that there is allegedly a deadlock in this sector of the front. However, war correspondents and even soldiers of the Ukrainian army say the opposite. According to them, there is no deadlock in this sector of the front, and Russian troops are increasing pressure in preparation for a full-scale offensive. To somehow contain the advancing Russian troops, the Ukrainian command transferred about 30 German Leopard 1A5 tanks and about 8 modernized Leopard 2A5 tanks to the Kupiansk direction. However, these actions of the Ukrainian command did not affect the offensive pace of the Russian army in any way. Moreover, in recent months, the Russian military has posted numerous new videos on the internet showing footage of the destruction of German Leopard 2A5 and Leopard 1A5 tanks. At the same time, it is also worth noting the statements of Ukrainian tankers, who complain about the actions of Russian groups with anti-tank guided missiles. According to them, 5 Russian groups with anti-tank guided missiles and the same number of Lancet kamikaze drones are hunting for each German tank. As a result, as soon as a German tank appears in the combat zone, it is immediately attacked from all sides. Ukrainian tankers also noted the critical shortage of tanks and expressed their dissatisfaction with the fact that the Ukrainian command still keeps US Abrams tanks in the rear and does not allow them to engage in battle against Russian forces. It seems that the Ukrainian command is really afraid to disobey the Pentagon, which ordered not to use Abrams tanks in winter and at the hottest points of the front. Meanwhile, on the night of January 27, Russia launched a targeted missile strike on the territory of a ceramic factory in the city of Sloviansk. At the same time, let me remind you that this factory was already destroyed last year, and no work was carried out on its territory. However, Russian military intelligence managed to find out that the basements of the destroyed factory were used as the headquarters of the armed forces of Ukraine, and a place to house foreign mercenaries and Ukrainian formations. The strike on this military facility was carried out using the Iskander ballistic missile. It is reported that immediately after the missile strike, ambulances and rescuers arrived at the scene, which indicates that the Ukrainian military, along with foreign mercenaries, were indeed on the territory of the abandoned factory. According to sources in the Russian military department, the missile attack on the factory was targeted, resulting in the death of about 20 high-ranking officers of the armed forces of Ukraine, 60 Ukrainian soldiers, and about 40 foreign mercenaries. Unfortunately, sources in the Russian military department did not specify which countries the dead mercenaries were from. At the same time, let me remind you that the city of Sloviansk itself is actively used as a logistics center for the Ukrainian army and foreign mercenaries in the Donetsk direction of the front. A large number of military equipment, Ukrainian units, foreign mercenaries, and NATO military advisors are concentrated in this city. Therefore, most likely, targeted Russian missile strikes on this city will continue.